your books away for the time being. We'll come back to your lit circles later today for Everlast, but we're going to kind of switch gears a little bit and kind of dig into really what this unit that we've been working on is going to be all about, which is discovering the universal themes of a story. And we're going to do that in kind of a different and fun way today, utilizing music and the lyrics of music. So hopefully you guys will dig it and it'll be super cool. But first, who can raise your hand and tell me what a theme is for a story or a poem? Connor?
The central idea.
The central idea, absolutely. Now, what's a universal theme then? Does anybody know? Can anybody take the word universal and come up with an idea about what universal theme might be? Trey?
It's something that matches like
Okay, a theme that matches everything around you, okay? Or more specifically, a theme that everyone or almost everyone can identify with or relate to. Okay, so it's something that you all have experiences with in one way or another, like love, or the loss of love, or the loss of a loved one, or things that nature. Okay, and so we're going to take a look at that today and get more familiar with universal themes and what they look like in starting off with music, and then we'll transfer that into the book Everlast and come up with some ideas as we go forward in the next couple weeks, finishing up the book and what universal themes are in that book. Okay, so pass out the worksheet that I gave you to everybody in your table. So don't freak out about the size of this worksheet. We're not going to go through every single one of these songs that's included. We're going to go through several of them, and then the rest, you'll have a chance to, on your own, go through and find those songs and look at them on your own terms. So you'll notice at the bottom of each song is a little chart, and in the first box it says subject, and in the second box it says the actual theme. Now the best way to find a theme is to figure out what the subject is of the story or poem or song that you're dealing with, and then put that into a more formal sentence, and that'll give you your full theme. Okay, because themes aren't just one word, they're actually a sentence. You know, like for instance, a very cliche one, love conquers all. You know, the subject of that is love, and the full theme is that love conquers all, okay? Which is a common theme within a lot of books, right? Okay, so you ready for the first song? Okay, so you'll notice on your sheet that It's Your Life by Bon Jovi. And my mouse needs to be charged. So I want you guys to just listen to the song and don't do anything but just listen to the words of the song, okay?
Wonder if we tried a new thing, looked inside, see what we can bring.
This one actually has the lyrics on screen.
Sing a song for the broken hearted. Silent prayer for the faith departed. I'm gonna be just a face in the crowd. You're gonna hear my voice when I shout it out loud. It's my life, it's now or never. I'm gonna live forever. their ground. Tommy and Gina never back down. Tomorrow can make no mistake. Looking back, make your own breaks. It's mine. It's now or never. I ain't gonna live forever. I just wanna live my life. It's mine. All this fucking open highway. Like Vegas till I'm dead in my way. I just wanna live my life. 'Cause it's mine.
So I think that probably gives you enough to go on, right? So now, in your little box, the first one, I want you to write down what you think the subject, which is 1 or 2 words, what is the subject of that song? In 1 or 2 words. Okay, and who wants to raise their hand and tell us what you wrote for it? Because I see a lot of different ones. Dawson?
His life.
His life. So life, right? So now, that's your subject, life. And then I want you to write down what you think the theme is regarding life. What is it saying about life? So writing. Okay, does somebody want to share what they came up with for the theme of this song? Trey?
I put down, live your own life and don't have people live for you.
Good, that's really good. That's a really good one. Anybody else? Okay, yeah, I know that you each kind of wrote something different, right? In your own words. So now I want you to look at the lyrics of the song, and I want you to actually go through it and underline a few things or a few lines that prove that that's the theme. Is she here? Yes, she is.
Thank you.
Did I mark her absent?
Not quite sure.
And I'll be right with you guys. I made a mistake with attendance. I need to fix it really quick. Okay, Trey, since you gave us that awesome theme, what were a couple of the lines that you underlined?
Underline, I just want to live my life on the line. It's my life. I did it my way. Gotta make your own break, because it's my life.
Good. Anybody else ready to share? Maybe with the next song. Let's move on to the next song. Okay, the next song is Cats in the Cradle by Perry Chapin. I love this song. I don't know if any of you have heard it, but it's one of my favorite songs. Is it old? It's an older song, yes.
Pretty old.
A child arrived just the other day. He came to the world in the usual way, but there were planes to catch and bills to pay. He learned to walk while I was away, and he was talking for I knew it, and as he grew, he'd say, I'm gonna be like you, Dad, you know I'm gonna be like you. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the phone. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then. My son turned 10 just the other day. He said, thanks for the ball, Dad, come on, let's play. Can you teach me to throw? I said, not today, I got a lot to do. He said, that's okay, and then he walked away, but his smile never did. Said, I'm gonna be like him, yeah, you know I'm gonna be like him. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then. Well, he came from college just the other day, so much like a man, I just had to say, son, I'm proud of you. Can you sit for a while? He shook his head and he said with a smile, what I really like, Dad, is the power of the car keys. See you later, can I have them, please? And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get together then, Dad. You know we'll have a good time then. I've long since retired, my son's moved away. Called him up just the other day. I said, I'd like to see you if you don't mind. He said, I'd love to, Dad, if I can find the time. You see, my new job's a hassle and the kids are the flu. But it's sure nice talking to you, Dad. It's been sure nice talking to you. And as I hung up the phone, it occurred to me, he'd grown up just like me. My boy was just like me. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue, the man on the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get together then, then. We're gonna have a good time then.
Okay, same thing, I want you to do the exact same thing. This one is not as easy as the last one because there were some really clear-cut messages in the last one that were pointed out for you about the theme. But this one, kind of have to dig a little deeper with it. So what do you think the subject is? And then, what's the actual theme? So write down the subject first. you get that down and wanna move on to the theme, you can. And this one you can approach a couple different ways. There might be a couple different themes to it. So who wants to raise their hand and tell us what the subject is, what they think the subject is? Dawson?
Growing up.
Okay, does anybody have something different? Trey? Absent family, okay? Anybody else? Mackenzie, or Shelby? Sorry. The son and father relationship, okay, good. So now try to put those into words about what is this song trying to teach you? What's its lesson based on what you put as the subject? And all of those are right on the money. And then underline your evidence. Who wants to take a shot at the actual theme? Dawson?
Appreciate what you have and have it.
Oh, good, good. Anyone else? Trey?
Fun time is coming to present when they have something because in the future.
Okay, good. Anyone that hasn't shared? You guys all nervous because we have a visitor today?
Not
Because
scared.
Ashland's not here to like keep you guys talking.
Yeah, I talked to her the other day. She's been here for a while.
All right, that's all right. What I'm seeing you guys all writing down is really good. And just remember that you're not writing down what the song's about. You're writing down what it teaches you about your subject. Okay, so let's look at one more. Clarity, a version by Michelle Shamuel, because it's the only version I like.
Fight fear for the selfish pleasures, worth in this time. Hold still when before we crash, 'cause we both know how it's ends. Heart takes till it breaks your glass, and I drown in you again. You were a piece of me, I wish you didn't leave. Chasing relentlessly, still fight, and I don't know why. If my life is tragedy, Just forget all pretense. 'Cause you are a piece of me. I wish I didn't need chasing relentlessly. Still felt I don't know why. If our love is tragedy, why are you my remedy? If our love is insanity, tell me why.
Who watches The Voice?
Me, I do.
Do you remember that season?
Yes.
I love Michelle
I
Shaggy.
don't like her. I like her
Really,
name,
she's
but
my
I don't
favorite.
like her.
She's my favorite.
Her name is.
All right. So now, see if you can figure out the subject of that particular song. Should be kind of easy to figure out the subject. And then see if you can figure out the theme of that subject. I know, the theme for this one is a little difficult, isn't it? So, just all of you at once say what the theme is, or what the subject is? Okay, so now, see if you can figure out what the theme is about love. What is she saying about love?
Write it down first.
And then go back and find your evidence to see if you are on the right track. Remember, somewhere within your theme statement should be your subject. That word should be utilized within that statement. All right, who thinks that they can come up with the theme for you, for this particular song? And I'll tell you right off, it's not just that love is tragic. There's more to it than that. Okay, so who thinks they know?
Can we say something that's not in our favorite?
Just write it down real quick. And would you share yours? Let me see.
Love is like a scar, it will heal, but there will always be more.
Okay. Who else? Shelby, can you share yours? Why do you go, like, start with this one, and then this would be more, you know,
Love can hide when pain and hardship, but it's still there.
never give up on love. Okay, good. Reba, did you get yours written down? You said you wanted to share. What did you want to say?
So, like, love, it can be hard at times and confusing, but then it always finds you back.
Okay. And I think more than that, isn't she kind of with some of the lines, like she says, if our love is tragedy, why are you my remedy? So isn't she really talking about the hardships
Yes.
and having somebody to go through the hardships with? And so never giving up on love or healing, using that love as a way to heal. So if you had something along those lines, kudos to you guys. This one's not easy, right? This one was definitely one of the hard ones. And don't you find those sometimes with the poems that you study in language arts or the books that you read, that themes can be really hard to figure out because you really have to make a lot of inferences about what the author is really intending, right? Okay, so one more. And, oh, no, not that page. Oh, it's so difficult to decide. So we're gonna go with this one first because it's my all-time favorite 80s song and video.
Wonder if we tried a new thing, looked inside, see what we can.
This one is "Take on Me" by a-ha. Kudos to you guys if you know it because it's awesome and the video is awesome. Best video ever.
Talking away. I don't know
groundbreaking when it came out in the eighties, and I will say that that particular group, AHA, was, my One Direction. I'm not gonna lie, poster on the wall, the lead singer and the whole 9 yards, so I'm really partial to that group and that song. One hit wonder of the 80s. Alright, so now see if you can come up with the subject. And this song is not as easy as you think at first glance. So really use the lyrics in front of you, underline some things to come up with a subject, and then expand on that subject and come up with a statement for it about what it's teaching you. Anybody have an idea about the subject yet? You really have to make some inferences with this. Really dig between the lines. And there's a couple of different ways you can go with it. Look at the third stanza. That's a good stanza. And then all of the little sections about take on me, take me on, that can help you find it. Okay, who thinks that they can help some of the others out that are stuck? Let's start with the subject. Oh, okay, that's a good one. It's not an approach I thought of until I saw it on your paper, but I think that that could definitely work as a subject for this. Any other ones? The two obvious ones, maybe? What are the two obvious ones?
Love.
Love. And what's another maybe obvious one for this? Life. Okay? So now take one of those three, life, love, or hope, and see if you can look at some things in the song to come up with a theme, a universal theme, something we all can relate to around that subject. All right, who wants to share? Samantha, why don't you read yours? So what did you put for the subject? Okay,
And for the theme I put, never give up, give love a chance, and hope that they won't give up.
okay, good. Someone else? Shelby, can you read your mind blown one?
The note for the subject is life, and no matter what, life will be okay if you have
If you have someone to lean on. So I helped her come up with the last part of that because the first part was really good, that life will be okay. And that's pretty obvious because in the third stanza that I pointed out, it talks about everything's gonna be okay, right? But then there's the second part of it with the take on me or take me on. So life's gonna be okay as long as you have someone there to lean on or to guide you, somebody who's not willing to give up on you. Okay? You guys' minds like going. Alright, so that's the last song we're gonna look at today. Today, okay? However, you will notice that it's a very big packet, right? So we can look at some additional ones on Thursday. And then where we're going with this little activity is I'm gonna give you a list on Thursday of universal themes or common universal topics rather. And you're going to choose one of those and you're going to either create a poem or a little 3-paragraph beginning, middle, and end story revolving around that theme and showing me that you can create something with a universal theme, a universal message. Okay? Questions about that? Comments? Concerns? I know you all want to sit around and listen to more music, right? Don't worry, we have plenty to go through, and we're gonna do that on Thursday. Okay, we'll finish it up on Thursday. So please do not lose this, put your name on it. If you think you're gonna misplace it before Thursday, put it in the homework box so you don't misplace it, and then get into your lip circle groups. On Thursday. All right, and then as always, I need to check a couple of you to see where you're at with your reading. So who am I going to ask?
Sam and Carlos.
Samantha, where are you with the reading?
293.
293. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Say bye, Miss Christie. And Carlos, where are you? 275. 275. And we are supposed to be at. Oh, wait. Yeah. Okay. You're supposed to be at 280 today. Is that right? I got confused because I've been using the other slideshow for a couple weeks. So I got confused. So everybody, look in your thing right now and tell me exactly where we're supposed to be.
What's today?
Today is the.
281.
That was supposed to be done today.
That's today.
Oh, homework tonight. Okay, so you were supposed to be to 280 today, so Carlos is 5 pages away. Woohoo! I'm so proud that you're actually pushing through with this book. I have another student in the other class, he managed to finish it, but he hated every second of it. So I don't know how he managed to finish it when he hated every second of it, but that's all right. So now, tell me where each of you guys are. So this group, what was the last discussion you had? Was it 209 to 228 or 228 to 242?
I think we're on 200.
You're on 209 to 227, and you need sheets for 228 to 242, right? Okay, and this group? Same. Perfect. All right, so have your discussion for 228 to 242, and I'm gonna get you guys your next set of worksheets, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you a couple of the worksheets to push things along.